The frozen fortress. In the brutal winter of 1775, two armies of American rebels, led by the ambitious Benedict Arnold and the steadfast Richard Montgomery, converge on the mighty fortress city of Quebec in a desperate, near-suicidal gamble to win Canada for the Revolution. Characters. Benedict Arnold, 35, aggressive, charismatic, and fiercely ambitious. A natural leader of men, driven by a need for glory and recognition. Richard Montgomery, 37, former British officer, now a Continental general. Measured, professional, and burdened by the weight of command. More cautious than Arnold. Daniel Morgan, 40, commander of the Virginia Riflemen. Blunt, fearless, and beloved by his men. A brawler with a heart of gold. Aaron Burr, 19, a young, eager officer on Arnold's staff. Intelligent and ambitious, witnessing the horrors of war for the first time. Governor Carleton, 51, British governor of Quebec. A shrewd, competent, and unflappable commander, determined to hold the city. Jean, 25, a French-Canadian woman. Initially neutral, she becomes a reluctant witness and a symbol of the civilian cost of the conflict. Scene 1, the Ghost Army. Ext. Kennebec River, Maine, day, late October 1775. The scene is a vision of hellish hardship. Ragged, starving men in tattered uniforms haul battered bateaux, flat-bottomed boats up the raging Kennebec River. Snow swirls in a bitter wind. The air is filled with the sounds of coughing, cursing, and the roar of white water. Benedict Arnold, his face gaunt but his eyes burning with determination, stands knee-deep in the icy water, heaving on a rope attached to a bateau. Arnold, shouting over the river's roar. Heave, lads, heave. Every pull brings us closer to Quebec. Morgan, get those riflemen on the bank. Use the ropes. Daniel Morgan, a bear of a man, barks orders at his Virginians. They are in slightly better shape, their long rifles held high. Morgan, you heard the colonel. Get your backs into it, you miserable lot. Or would you rather freeze to death where you stand? A young Aaron Burr slips on the slick rocks, nearly going under. Arnold grabs his arm, pulling him upright with surprising strength. Burr, gasping, teeth chattering. Colonel. The maps were lies. The portage are twice the length. The food is ruined, half the powder is waterlogged. Arnold, fixing Burr with an intense stare. Maps are drawn by men in warm offices. Burr. We are making our own map now. One written in hunger and resolve. The British in Quebec are fat and warm behind their walls. They will never expect an army from this direction. Surprise is a weapon, and we are forging it here, in this river. Morgan, joining them, wiping his face with a wet sleeve. Surprise won't feed a man, Benedict. We've eaten the last of the salt pork. The men are boiling their shoes for the glue. We're an army of ghosts. Arnold, then we shall haunt Carleton in his sleep. Look at them, Daniel. They are following us into the mouth of hell itself. They do this not for pay, not for king, but for an idea. That idea will keep them warm when the fire has gone out. It must. Arnold turns back to the river, his face a mask of stubborn will. He wades back into the freezing current, setting the example. Arnold, V.O. We hear the scratch of a quill on paper. Journal, October 28. Our situation is dire. The wilderness has proven a more formidable enemy than any British regiment. We have lost dozens to drowning, disease, and desertion. Yet, the spirit of the men, though tested, is not broken. We have but two choices now, to press on to Quebec, or to perish in the attempt. There is no road back. Scene 2, the Junction. Ext. Plains of Abraham, outside Quebec, December 2, 1775. Arnold's army emerges from the tree line. They are a skeletal, terrifying sight. Over 600 men started, fewer than 500 remain. Their clothes are rags, their feet wrapped in bloody cloth. But they carry their muskets. They look down upon the St. Lawrence River and the majestic, foreboding fortress city of Quebec. Its stone walls and citadel seem impregnable. Burr, whispering, in awe and terror. So that is it, the Gibraltar of the North. Morgan, grunts. Walls are just stone, it's the men behind them that matter. And right now, I'd trade my best rifle for a hot meal and a dry pair of socks. Suddenly, a cheer goes up from the south. A column of men, better clothed and armed, marches towards them. At their head is General Richard Montgomery, looking every bit the professional soldier. The two forces meet on the snowy plain. Arnold and Montgomery clasp hands. The contrast is stark. Montgomery's tidy uniform against Arnold's ragged furs and woolens. Montgomery. By God, Arnold, you've done it. When we heard you'd taken the Quebec route, I feared we'd never see you again. Arnold. Smiling wearily. We took a scenic route, General. I present to you what remains of the finest men ever to starve and freeze for a cause. Montgomery. His smile fades as he surveys the gaunt faces. You have my admiration, and my sympathy. But we have little time for either. Carleton has sealed the city. The garrison is reinforced. The Canadians, they watch and wait. They will not join us unless we prove we can win. Arnold. Then we must give them a victory. Let us strike now, before the enlistments expire at year's end. Montgomery. Patience, Benedict. I have artillery coming from captured Fort St. Jean. We will bombard them, offer terms. A direct assault on those walls, it would be a bloody business. Arnold. His ambition flashing. Blood is the currency of revolution, General. Carleton sits behind his walls, laughing at us. He thinks we are a mob. We must show him we are a storm. The two generals look at each other, a fundamental difference in temperament clear. Montgomery, the cautious professional. Arnold, the audacious gambler. Scene 3, the Council of War. Int. Farmhouse Headquarters, night, December 30, 1775. A map of Quebec is spread on a rough wooden table. Montgomery, Arnold, Morgan, and other officers are gathered around. A blizzard howls outside. Montgomery. The bombardment has failed. My scouts report no breach. The enlistments expire in 2 days. If we do not act tomorrow, the army will dissolve. Arnold. The storm is our ally. Carleton will never expect an attack in this. It will blind his sentries and muffle our advance. Morgan. I don't like attacking a walled city, it's butchery. But if we're to do it, let's do it with cold steel and hot blood. Waiting is a disease. Montgomery. Sighs, the weight of the decision heavy on him. Very well. We attack at 4 in the morning. A two-pronged assault. I will take my force along the river, past Cape Diamond, and attack the lower town from the south. He traces the route on the map. Montgomery counted. Arnold, you will lead your men through the St. Rock suburb and assault the lower town from the north. We will meet here, in the heart of the lower town, and force our way up into the upper city. Arnold. His eyes alight with the plan. A pincer. They'll be trapped. It is a bold plan. Montgomery. Looks at each man in turn. It is a desperate plan, but liberty was never won by the timid. May God be with us all. Scene 4, the assault. Ext. Quebec. Night, December 31, 1775. A blinding snowstorm rages. Arnold leads his column through the narrow, winding streets of the St. Rock suburb. They carry ladders. They are silhouettes against the driving snow. Suddenly, a single musket shot rings out from a blockhouse. Then another. Then a volley. Arnold. Shouting. Forward. Don't stop. For God and liberty. Forward. A musket ball smashes into Arnold's leg. He stumbles, clutching his thigh, blood seeping through his fingers. Brr. Screaming. The colonel is hit. Arnold. Gritting his teeth in agony. Don't stop. Morgan. Take command. Get through the barrier. Morgan. Daniel Morgan doesn't hesitate. He roars, a primal sound that cuts through the storm. Morgan. Virginia. With me. Ladders to the barrier. Morgan's men surge forward. They place ladders against a barricade blocking the street. Morgan is the first one up, swinging his rifle like a club, a pistol in his other hand. He is a whirlwind of violence, clearing the way. Int. House in the lower town, continuous. Jean is huddled with her children by the fireplace when the sound of battle erupts outside. She peers through a crack in the shutters, her face illuminated by a flash of gunfire. She sees the Americans, wild-eyed and determined, fighting hand-to-hand with British regulars and Canadian militia in the narrow street. It is chaos, confusion, and sheer terror. Ext. Southern approach, same time. Montgomery's column advances along the river. They reach a fortified blockhouse at Pres de Ville. The storm has masked their approach. Montgomery draws his sword. Montgomery. To his men. Men of New York. We are the spearhead. Take that blockhouse. He leads the charge. As they get within yards of the barricade, a single command is heard from behind it. A massive volley of cannon and musket fire erupts from the darkness. Montgomery is hit multiple times. He is killed instantly, along with his senior officers. The charge falters, then breaks. His men, leaderless and terrified, retreat back into the storm. Ext. Northern Lower Town, minutes later. Morgan and his men have fought their way deep into the lower town. They are trapped in a narrow street, taking fire from the houses above them. They burst into a house, believing it to be a path forward, only to find themselves in a dead end. Morgan, furious, realizing the trap. Damn them. Damn this city. We have to go back. But it's too late. British reinforcements have sealed the route behind them. They are surrounded. British officer OS. You, in the house. Surrender. You are surrounded. General Montgomery is dead. Your cause is lost. Morgan looks at his exhausted, bloodied men. The fight goes out of his eyes. He throws his sword down on the floor with a clatter of utter defeat. Morgan, his voice a low growl. Do not shoot. We surrender. Scene 5, the aftermath. Int. Makeshift hospital. Day, January 1, 1776. Arnold lies on a straw pallet, his leg bandaged. He is pale, sweating with fever. Aaron Burr stands by his side. The sound of moaning men fills the air. Burr. Montgomery is dead. Morgan and over 400 men are captured. We lost everything. Arnold closes his eyes, not in pain, but in fury. Arnold. Voice trembling with rage and fever. We did not lose. We were betrayed. By the storm. By the terrain. By the timidity of fate itself. He opens his eyes, and they are burning with a new, darker fire. Arnold counted. Carleton may hold the city, but he does not hold the spirit. This is not the end, Burr. Mark my words. This defeat will be a rallying cry. They will speak of Montgomery's martyrdom and Arnold's march. They will know what we dared. He struggles to sit up, gripping Burr's arm. Arnold counted. Get a message to Congress. Tell them the army is broken, but not its commander. Tell them I will hold the line outside these walls until my last breath. We came here to take Canada, and though we have failed today, the war is not over. The flame has been lit, and it will not be so easily extinguished. Fade to black. Final text on screen. The American siege of Quebec continued until the spring of 1776, when British reinforcements arrived, forcing a final American retreat. The campaign to win Canada had failed. Benedict Arnold, hailed as a hero for his perseverance, would later become the most infamous traitor in American history. The Battle of Quebec, a crushing defeat, nonetheless became a powerful legend of patriot courage and sacrifice.